looking at you, kid. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'll have what she's having.
Boss will be with you, always.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 68th episode of Gone with the Wind. We have no music to cue, but I won't even try because I'm still trying to learn this new version of StreamYard. So thank you all for joining here today for Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows where we talk about, you guessed it, award shows. Welcome to the Oscar prediction special, where today we will be talking about, you guessed it, Oscars. All the predictions of this 2020, 2021 type of year. I don't know. At this point, it's just kind of a little bit of both. But I am not alone. I can't go like an entire hour plus without panelists. But I have some excellent panelists here today of the Gone with the Wind crew. You know them. You love them. Let's bring in our first one. We have Dan Skip Allen.
Hey!
Welcome, Dan.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you can hear me say this a lot. You can hear me say Nomadland or Promising Young Woman.
Just those two. You can't. He can't say anything else but those two. So international film, Nomadland,
or Minari, or
One Night in Miami for international film.
No, yeah. We're gonna say a lot of different films. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hear some hot takes. And we've been waiting for this all year, Manning. I'm so glad.
Finally, I mean, this is finally coming to a head after this tumultuous year. But we are not alone. It is not just Manning and Dan. It is also ADN is better in than R in A. Abe, what is this? Please explain. We love your banners. Explain
what
your
I was thinking right now is that
Yes.
I wrote DNA in Spanish instead in English, and RNA I actually wrote it correct.
Wait, so is ADN in Spanish for DNA?
Yes. No, my
Bravo, sir.
Trying to be.
I just have to say something. I'm really excited about this show. But what with that countdown music? Were we supposed to be dancing to it?
No, listen. No one can see us for those things. It is merely I found something on YouTube. I used it temporarily for the first little bit because we needed a nice countdown to get the show starting. It's not going to stay. I just found something that was better than just the one they have here in StreamYard because I've seen that one way too many times. So the power of editing. But if you wanted to dance, no one's going to stop you, Dave.
Good.
All right. But we are not done yet. We have enough for another extra box. And I wonder who that person is going to be. It is going to be... I love it. I don't get it at all, but I love it. Thanks, Abe. We have Malcolm.
Hello.
Malcolm, welcome to the final episode before the Oscars actually commence. Welcome. How excited are you, sir? The fact that we're finally putting this Oscar entire year behind us.
I mean, it's definitely I'm always just excited for the Oscars in general. I watched Two Distant Strangers just before this.
Hey, perfect. Because I think the short films are going to be an interesting thing to talk about. We're not going to spend too much time on them because we usually never see them. But I think most of them are also readily accessible on YouTube, Netflix, or Amazon Prime, streaming services galore. They're easy to find. So I'd recommend you guys go all out to search for them as best as you can. But no dilly-dallying. We're going to get right into this right now because we have a lot of ground to cover. So, are y'all ready to jump right into it? Y'all got your gold derbies up? Perfect. I have mine up as well, too. Boom. So, again, for those who are watching, this is again live. So, if you have any questions, any statements, I will put y'all up in a little thingy below Malcolm. Wait, there you go. Hold on. Wait. So, below Malcolm, I'll put y'all's comment right there. So, look forward to that. All right, we are going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. So we're going to start with the one that is on Gold Derby. We're going from the Gold Derby a list, starting with Best Live Action Short and ending with Best Picture. So along the way, we're going to take turns. This is how it's going to work. I'll do 3 and kind of tell you what the nominations are, then tell you who I believe the winner to be. I will then prompt my fellow panelists to tell me what they believe to be the ones who are going to win. And that's kind of the gist of what we will be doing. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So Best Live action short. Nominations are The Letter Room, Two Distant Strangers, The Present, Feeling Through, and White Eye. I see you yawning over there, Malcolm. I know you just woke up, so again, thank you for joining. We'll play some loud music. Anyone have any symbols to make sure that he can wake up? But no. Again, Letter Room, Two Distant Strangers, The Present, Feeling Through, and White Eye. This is interesting because I think this could be between two things, depending on what mood they're in. I think this is Two Distant Strangers because that has built a lot of buzz for itself. So I'm gonna go Two Distant Strangers. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, The Letter Room has got Oscar Isaac, but I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Two Distant Strangers has kind of been making the rounds, and it's been available for people to see. And I'm thinking maybe more Oscar voters might have seen Two Distant Strangers. So yeah, I'm going with Two Distant Strangers as well.
It's on Netflix, so it's very easily accessible through there. Abe, the one who keeps changing his banner, I love it. Who do you have?
I'm trying to look for something clever. I agree with you guys. I think the fact that Two Distant Strangers is available on Netflix, Two Distant Strangers,
Yes.
like that helps a lot. It's been there since November 20th, from what I checked. So that, yeah, right, yeah. Well, I checked it. It was online. Yeah, so that helps a lot. So I agree. It's gonna be that. Will not be surprised, like, if something else win because it's that live action short category, and sadly, not a lot of people pay attention to it.
No, and that's something I've noticed is that usually this is where you could have a particular, you could have one that just kind of comes out of nowhere because people don't really see them that much. I want to know if everyone votes for them. But Malcolm, which one do you have winning and taking the prize?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think it's between Two Distant Strangers and The Letter Room. I did just change it to Two Distant Strangers in the end because just with the themes of the short itself, and with it being a really big representative of what last year was like, then I think that alone is enough to possibly get the win.
No, yeah, and I agree, and I think that is your front runner right now. But again, this is the shorts, so you can't expect anything to be the same. All right, so best documentary short, we have A Concerto is a Conversation, Do Not Split, A Love Song for Latasha, Colette, and Hunger Ward. This is actually the only one where I've seen all five, which I actually really like all of these a lot. However, only one can win, and from the buzz surrounding it, I sadly would love it to be Do Not Split, but this is just from the filmmaking perspective. But what do you guys think? I have A Concerto is a Conversation.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I think it's a lot of people, from what I've been hearing, from like ballots that are unnamed ballots, and people are talking, and there's been some buzz around A Love Song for Latasha, but the consensus from a lot of pundits and a lot of different predictors out there is A Concerto is a Conversation, and so that is what I am going for as well.
I'm muted. I literally cough and I have to mute myself. It is not a podcast unless Manning doesn't realize that he's muted himself. Abe or Malcolm, what do you guys think is winning?
Yeah, I went Do Not Split. I don't know these shorts. I listened to Bibbs and Whitney talk about them on Quickly Acclaimed, but I've not actually seen them myself.
No, I think Do Not Split to me is the most impressive, especially how it pieces together the Hong Kong protests that happened in 2019. I think that is impressive, and from a filmmaking perspective of being out there and be able to convey, I think it's easily the best. I think Colette is nice, and I think Hunger Ward is also one that's gripping, and if there was another one that I think that should win, it's that one. But A Concerto with a Conversation is also brilliantly made, and I would highly recommend everyone to go out and see just to see how they the lighting in that in particular, the way they convey emotion and the way they film it is spectacular. But sorry, that's me rambling. Abe, what about you?
I'm thinking love song for Latasha, and I'm gonna give you my argument for it.
Tell me.
It's based on something that happened in Los Angeles. And where does the Academy reside? Los Angeles. Do you remember what
That's a good point.
won? I believe it was live action short a couple years ago. Uh, it was this short about Highway 451, something like that. Do you remember the name of it? It was a long
Oh,
title.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. I can't remember it though, but I know what you're
and
talking
I
about.
think it can have the same effect on it. Also, the subject matter I think resonates with what has been happening in the country for a lot of years that has not been resolved. But I'm going with Latesh. Well, a lot some for Latesh.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's another one. Again, the shorts are a bit kind of throw a dart, and then we'll see exactly what happens. So best animated short, probably the one where people see the most, thanks to Pixar. Oh, you know what I just realized? I totally forgot that I said I was going to do to show people where exactly we are. Ta-da! Best animated short film. So we have If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, Burrow, Best People, and Genius Loki. Lochi
Lokai.
Kai? Lokai.
Lokai.
Thank you. It is
Well,
not.
well, in science, Lokai. Like,
Okay. It's not, again, not a podcast also, unless Abe corrects Manning on how to properly say words.
well, no better reasons. Whatever.
Yeah, true. Anyway, this is one that I think is If Anything Happens, I Love You. This is the one that I've heard the most about. Again, Burrow is a safe choice because it is also Pixar, but I think If Anything Happens, I Love You is the one that I've heard with a powerful story. I would not be surprised if that one takes it at all. What do you guys think?
Yeah, this is one that I think it's going to be Burrow because it's Disney. Like, it depends on how much people have gone out to watch these shorts. But one that I do really want to see because of how Bibbs and Whitney sort of hyped it up and critically acclaimed is Opera, because apparently that is a really masterful work, and
I've
it's
not seen
one
that
that,
one yet.
and it's just one that they are really surprised about. It actually looks really good, but I haven't seen it either. I do want to watch it myself. So
Yeah. This one's been on Netflix for a long time. If
Yes.
anything happens, I love you. That's the one that's going to win. I mean, Burrow, yeah, it's on Disney Plus, but it's not even. It didn't even come close to being as good as If Anything Happens, I Love You. I think this is going to be If Anything Happens, I Love You. That would be what I would vote for, and I think everybody should be out there voting for that one.
Mm-hmm. And Abe?
Look, I think my role on this podcast is to give you the thought of an old Oscar voter. Well, Manning left. So my thinking is, usually with the shorts, like as we have mentioned, like not a lot of people put attention to it, and they usually go with a sexy name. That's what I used to do when I didn't have the ability to watch
You
most of the
do that.
shorts. And what has the sexiest name of all? If anything happens, I love you. So I happen to agree with your prediction, guys.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you agree with it for the sole purpose that it does have the longest name and the coolest name out of all of these. Although,
I don't know. I think Genius Loci is a sexy name.
I mean, what does it mean again? I have not seen that one. Has anyone seen that one? No, man. I need to do better on my shorts.
Locate location. Well,
Genius location, maybe smart location, perhaps.
well,
Something like that.
well, like in a chromosome, like the position where a genius is the loci.
I mean, maybe it's secretly a Marvel short, and it's about a Norse god.
Genius Loki. Hey, it's a genius. Loki is genius. It's the preview for the new Loki series on Disney Plus. Dan, take us away for international film.
All right, our nominees are Better Days, Man Who Sold His Skin, Krivada's Aida, Collective, and Another Round. This I'm going with. I saw most of these. And the one, I mean, there's two of them that obviously, most of these categories are down to two. It's kind of neck and neck between two. Collective, phenomenal film. But the movie that's going to win this is Mads Mikkelsen and Thomas Vinterberg. They didn't give Thomas Vinterberg a Best Director nomination for nothing.
Oh, heavens no.
There's a reason why. He's going to win this bad boy. They're going to win this bad boy. Another round. I would check this box if I was everybody out there, because this is going to win.
No, I agree, but also at the same time, Kyovitis Aida, I believe that is
did win the Indie Spirit Award.
It did win the Indie Spirit Award recently.
But guess wasn't nominated? Guess what wasn't nominated? Another round. Every one of these except for one was nominated for the Indie Spirit Award, and the one that wasn't nominated was Another Round.
Was Better Days nominated?
Every one of these,
wow,
except for Another Round, was nominated. 4 of them.
Well, then I guess that we know what number 2 possibly would be, which is interesting because I've heard a lot of buzz on the film Twitter about Aida, and I still need to see that one. In fact, I'm going to try to watch it today after we do this because it seems harrowing and devastating. It's a long feature. It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes or a little less than that or so. But for Abe or Malcolm, for you guys, is this anyone else but Another Round? Is there another film that could take this?
I don't see it anything else winning. Like, it has been winning everything, so it's kind of hard to predict that it will lose that, especially that direction nomination. Like, come on.
That's kind of telling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big foreign movies person. I just read Another Round because that's what everyone else is going with.
No, yeah. And I know, but yeah, I need to see Another Round still, which I'm deciding between that one. I need to see more of the international films as well too. But yeah, I think it's Another Round. I think it's always been Another Round ever since we saw it not only get a nomination in Best Director, but and all of the stuff that it's won prior. But yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I stand corrected. I got my documentary and foreign language films mixed up. It was a documentary feature that all 4 except for the winner. Well, both actually. Now that I think about it, it's both for Indie Spirit. Both Collective was in both categories, but
oh wow,
these are Crip Camp, The Mole Agent, Time, Collective, and My Octopus Teacher. Yeah, 4 of the 5 were nominated, I believe, for Indie Spirit. Malcolm, somebody looked at it. I think either one of the other, international feature or documentary feature. 4 of the 5 were nominated. The one that wasn't nominated is the one that's going to win. I think it was international feature. I'm getting myself mixed up here, but my pick here is My Octopus Teacher. It's won the last, I think, 2. It won BAFTA and it won SAG, I believe. And it won one of the like producers, director guild, one of them.
Yep.
One of them. So I think it's My Octopus Teacher, even though Collective, once again, I'm going to say it's down. I mean, a lot of people had Time in the lead early on.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, once upon a time. Time has run out on Time. Like Crip Camp won the Indie Spirit Award, but I think it's going to be My Octopus Teacher. I think it's starting to show that this is the one that's in the lead. Plus, 8,000 hours of footage, and if you watch this thing on Netflix, it's one of the most gorgeous films of the year. I mean, what they did with this was an amazing, amazing achievement, and I think it's going to win. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. And for Time, I know that was one that was early on. It was like a very critical darling. I know it got a lot of critical acclaim and a lot of critics awards, but like when it came to the guilds and when it came to the actual like everything but the DGA, like My Octopus Teacher just kind of came out of nowhere. I want to give myself credit. Only time I'll give it this entire podcast, but I remember putting that down thinking like, this is on Netflix. This is the one Netflix is going to push, because I hadn't heard of Crip Camp at that time. And they had pushed My Octopus Teacher. Every time you go into Netflix, one of their top things they kept pushing was My Octopus Teacher. They didn't do Crip Camp. They did My Octopus Teacher. And while those were both on there, they were campaigning one in particular, and I saw that a little while ago. And when I finally decided, you know what, this is something that they have faith in, and if Netflix is going to get a documentary in, it's going to be My Octopus Teacher, and here we are. So this is the end of the road for this one. What about you two?
Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of my octopus teacher until the nominations came out. But I mean, I've seen the trailer for it. Like the trailer that they usually play on Netflix. It looks fine. I think it's going to win, but I would have much rather Collective win.
Hey, Collective is amazing, and I would not be surprised. I would not be disappointed if it won. I'd be okay with that. Abe or Mamma Mia. Are you okay? You twice.
Well, my inner is having one of those days, I guess. No, but like I'm thinking my octopus teacher, even though I still think it's kind of a weird documentary. But
It is different, but
yeah,
I think
it's very different.
in its differentness. That's not a word. And the difference that it has from other documentaries that we've seen in the past or even this year,
Uniqueness.
I think that's you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Better word. I think that's what excels it, or what makes people, I guess, gravitate toward it because of the emotion behind it. And yes, it is an octopus, but the octopus is in fact a teacher, and that's what makes it. I don't know about that. Dan, move on.
Yeah, best animated feature. This is another one that it's pretty much a done deal. This has been like the front runner for this entire time. Even though I try to get these guys a little fired up way back, and Manning, tell me about Wolfwalkers. What is Wolfwalkers? This is back in November when we were doing an episode, and since then, everybody has seen Wolfwalkers, and we all realize what a great film it is. But unfortunately, guys, the nominees are Shaun the Sheep movie, Armageddon, Over the Moon, Onward, Wolfwalkers, Soul. I know somebody here loves Shaun the Sheep movie, Armageddon, but I'm hoping he doesn't make a mistake on his ballot when he checks that box. But I'm going with Soul. I mean, if Soul doesn't win this, wow, what a
travesty.
Shocker. It would be an absolute shocker come Sunday night if Soul did not win this award. So even though I love Wolfwalkers, I love Onward, but it's got to be Soul.
It's a travesty for all ballots if anything other than Soul were to win, and to be like, what in the world is going on tonight? Did someone switch out the ballots? When is someone going to pull a Moonlight La La Land and say like, oh, just kidding, someone else won? Yeah, it's Soul. I'm not even going to add anything more to that because it's Soul. This is the one I'd bet money on because I knew it was just going to be the exact same thing. But
Come on, Malcolm, say Shaun the
You'll have
Sheep.
to say anything else?
I mean, if you guys have any thoughts, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys speak.
It's going to be not Shaun the Sheep for Armageddon. It's going to be Soul. Although I wouldn't be surprised.
Mike, you still get
I
credit.
kind of want Armageddon to win just for the memes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that'd be the best meme ever. It's just kind of like, oh, Shaun the Sheep movie won against Soul. What?
You know it's not called. Well, kind of weird. I noticed this last night. It's not called Shaun the Sheep. It's called a Shaun the Sheep movie.
Okay.
Oh,
Shaun the Sheep
It's
movie.
Shaun the Sheep.
It
It's
is
just
Shaun the
weird. I
Sheep
noticed
movie.
that last
Shaun
night.
the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. You're right.
A Shaun the Sheep.
What?
movie.
Right.
How so weird?
But Manning,
How bizarre?
Malcolm still gets credit because he's the only one that thought this would get nominated. So he does get credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, again, Shaun. We will look back and be like, Shaun the Sheep. How did it happen? Ugh. Okay.
Well, I mean, the first one got nominated, and Oscars like Hardman. I mean, it's an easy prediction to make.
I still beat myself up that I backed away from that when I was like, oh well, I guess it's not going to get it. You stayed on course, and then just massive props for that. Ugh. So Abe, I know you got switched around. We had previously done our things. We were gonna go in like a circular, but we're going to go to weird diagonal. I'm sorry. What are words today?
We're doing a Zorro shape, a Z.
A Z. We're Zorro. We're Zorroing it today. So we're over right now on this side of the Z. So Abe, what's the next category?
Best achievement in visual effects. The nominees are, I'm not going to do that. Tenet, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Love and Monsters. And I'm thinking it's going to be Tenet. Why? Because I don't see anything else from the other nominations winning, honestly. I don't see strong cases.
I'm gonna check a statistic first to make sure that I am right. So someone else give your thoughts, please.
Well, I mean, Ryan, who's usually on this show as well, like has will say that realistic space movies have quite often won the visual effects award past years. So Midnight Sky is probably going to win this based on thing. Although Love and Monsters effects are great.
Hmm. I'm still looking at it. So Dan, what are your thoughts on what's winning? What's taking away?
Well,
for
I'll
this
tell you
year?
what. This is one of those contentious ones that you're like, oh come on, we don't need to really spend a whole lot of time on it. But it's not one of those ones that's cut and dry. There is a lot of space in Midnight Sky, but the movie isn't that great, and I don't think they're going to reward a movie that's not that great. It's an okay movie, directed by George Clooney. It's on Netflix, but the better visual effects backwards and forwards and all kinds of craziness that's going on in a movie that, I mean, arguably I think is better is Tenet, and I think they want to give it to something that's a big name. It's really the only blockbuster that's came out in theaters, so this is a way for them to give something to Tenet, and I believe it's going to be Tenet, even though, I mean, you guys could be right because there's been some contention in some of the other awards that Midnight Sky could pop up there, you know. So we'll see.
Think about
I
this.
mean,
How many
I mean,
how many Christopher Nolan movies have won best visual effects? Inception,
Inception,
Dunkirk,
I know.
Interstellar.
Interstellar, I know is
Interstellar.
one. Yeah.
So he usually wins that. Like,
So
his movie-
far,
so far, I don't
Uh,
know if the Dark Knight didn't win, right? I don't know.
but anyway,
no.
Dan, you said something interesting. You said the Oscars will never award a movie that's not good. They awarded Suicide Squad a few years ago.
Well, I didn't say they wouldn't normally give it to a movie that wasn't good. I just think this year, this particular year, I think Midnight Skies didn't do that well overall with people, and I just have a feeling. I mean, it very well could. You just never know. It's not one of these categories that I'm shocked if Midnight Sky won. Because there is a lot of space and some like Aurora Borealis type stuff going on there, but I believe it's gonna be Tenet. That's just me. I mean,
Midnight Sky is a better movie than Tenet, and I prefer the visual
hot
effects.
hot take. There is more
Each his
visual
own.
effects, I think,
Each
in
his
Midnight
own.
Sky, which is why the question, like, we look back though, like I'm just kind of looking at some things, and like you look at 2018 when First Man won over Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War easily had more effects than First Man, or 1917 when it won against Avengers Endgame and Rise of Skywalker, or The Lion King. 1917 won against those, not because of its bombastic. I don't think they go for like the most. I mean, the Jungle Book probably might have been the most effects out of, you know, everything else that was nominated
like-
besides like what Doctor Strange.
You have to, like, when they did Jungle Book, like I remember the narrative being like, this is a whole new thing about the animals talking and how they move.
Yes.
So I think that had to do with that win.
yeah. All right, you guys, you could be right, Malcolm. It could be Midnight Sky. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it won. I think it's going to be Tenet. That's just me.
No. And I just think this year is for visual effects is nothing groundbreaking this year. Nothing that's kind of like, wow, this is the first thing that's ever happened before. But I think when all is said and done, I think this is going to be Tenet mainly because they don't go with the most they don't go with the most of the time. They go with for visual effects. Because look, Ex Machina beat Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Mad Max, Martian, and Revenant. Like, not what you would expect, really, but they went with that. They went with Interstellar over Guardians of the Galaxy, or all the different movies like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Winter Soldier. So I think they're going to go with the one that's a little more prestigious, unless, of course, there is something that's already sweeping everything, a la Jungle Book. So I think this is Tenet at the end of the day. But all right, best sound, hit us, sir.
So for the first time in a very long time, I'm honored to present the category of best sound.
First
The
time in a
nominees
long
are-
time.
Well, yeah, they divided sound. I don't know.
They did.
Sound of Metal, Soul, Mank, Greyhound, and News of the World. If the movie that has sound in the title does not win Best Sound, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life.
It'd be weird, honestly, if it lost, because then that kind of means. Yes, Abe, you okay?
Oh no,
You okay?
were you able to hear me? Because you
Yes.
in my screen.
Oh no, we can hear you. We can hear you. But what I was
Okay.
saying was that for best sound, as I said before in a previous one, this is the place to award Sound of Metal, because didn't Sound of Metal win the BAFTA for sound? I'm pretty sure it did. Correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because this would be sound mixing all the way if it was there. This would absolutely take it. Now for sound editing, maybe not, but they're together, and I think that's going to be your best indicator for best sound. I think this is Sound of Metal, because what they do with sound is incredibly interesting, and I see that taking it, even if it didn't win all the audio different ones. I remember audio awards. I remember like Trial of Chicago 7 won one, but that's also not nominated here. And the other one that won was Greyhound, and I don't see Greyhound winning.
Yeah, sound. I mean, Sound of Metal. This isn't a precursor, but I want to tell you that the Gold Derby Awards, Sound of Metal won that award 3 times, with 3 times as many votes as the next competitor combined, and it was the biggest gap in any one of the Gold Derby Awards categories.
Wow.
That tells you how obvious of a pick Sound of Metal is here. So, yeah, you'd be crazy if you didn't pick Sound of Metal in this category.
That is amazing. So, Malcolm, you have anything for us? Is it going to be Sound of Metal?
I mean, I think any 5 of these could win Best Sound. I just picked Sound of Metal because it's the coolest name, and I've just never seen it. So always seems to be a movie I've never seen in this category that always wins.
Hey, there you go, and let's keep that alive. Let's keep that alive. Moving right along from sound, into song.
I'm not gonna do my weird introduction again. Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Husavik, Eurovision Song Contest. Iocene, The Life Ahead from my girl Laura Pausini. Yeah, well, I know. 5 for You. Well, I don't know that singer. 5 for You, Judas and the Black Messiah. Hear My Voice, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Well, I don't see anything else winning here. Speak Now, One Night in Miami. However, if Husavik were to win, I would be pretty excited, because that would be a lot of fun.
Would it? Yes. Is there a chance? Sorry, Malcolm. Go ahead.
So for this, I went IOC, The Life Ahead Scene, would whichever order those.
It's wrong. That is wrong on Gold Derby.
But partly for the reason it did win the Globes for Best Song. So I think this is Diane Rowan's time. And I mean, I would prefer Speak Now to win myself, but I think a lot of people are buzzing around IOC. So,
I'll tell you. I'm all on board with Diane Warren, and I understand this whole thing about her, who she hasn't won. Glenn Close hasn't won, but I believe Leslie Odom Jr. should get this award, and I believe it should go to Speak Now, One Night in Miami. I think this is the best song. Obviously, it's a year where there isn't one like standout song, like with Lady Gaga, that year, or so it's kind of a tough category to really pin down. And every time I predict something in this category, it always ends up being something else, or some wrong movie, or wrong one. So I'm gonna go with Speak Now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's EOC Scene from A Life Ahead to give Diane Warren that much alluded Academy Award. So
The thing that took me off of putting the life ahead, the life ahead EOC scene, which is what it should say. That is wrong, Gold Derby, very wrong. Is that they don't put the nominee names when you're voting. They just put the name of the song. So no one, unless people are actively looking and seeing this is Diane Warren, who has not won an Oscar yet, they don't know that this is her. So with that, Life Ahead just really didn't do anything. If it had gotten maybe an international feature nomination, maybe, but this is the only nomination it has, and it hasn't swept. Like even last year with Rocket Man's I'm Gonna Love Me Again, the only representation for that movie, but it still swept. Nothing has swept. There has been nothing that has swept anything.
But
And
I
I think
will
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Manny.
Okay, I was just gonna say this is one night in Miami. This is the place to reward it, and a place for Leslie Odom Jr. to come up there and accept an Oscar.
Yeah. And he's in one of the other acting categories, Best Supporting Actor, right? Or am I wrong?
He is. He absolutely
So
is.
this is their way of giving one of those people from one of them other categories, in other words, spread the love, if you will, an award, which I've been wrong in the past when I said that. So doesn't mean I won't be wrong this time either. No, I was going to say there was cinematography. They didn't say the name of the cinematographer when they were doing the cinematography, but everybody knew
Yes.
that Roger Deakins had done the cinematography for Blade Runner 2049 in 1917. So word gets out, oh, wait, Diane Warren hadn't won an Academy Award yet. She's been nominated 7 times or whatever, 14 times or whatever it is. I can't remember how many. We got to think about. So that gets a word, though. People spread that kind of news, that kind of stuff. So that's where that could kind of come into play, So, but just added that little caveat to that.
No, you're right. And however, I just can't wait to see Husavik performed live. That's just going to be fun. The fact that they're filming it in Husavik with a children's choir. Abe, you're the biggest fan of Eurovision song contest on here. Are you excited that they're going to perform it live, not live, but pre-recorded live to tape in Husavik? Yes.
I watched it once and I just thought it was dumb. That's why
It is dumb, but it's cute. It's a cute little movie. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like honestly, Rachel McAdams, like she just shines
Yeah,
in
give her
pretty much
credit, boy.
everything she does.
She was all in. And Dan Stevens was all into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they believe in what they're doing. And you have to commend them for that.
I know. I commend them for that immensely. All right.
You're right. Dan Stevens is in it. I remember thinking,
he just goes for it.
Yeah.
Eurovision is a very forgettable movie, and it shows that Will Field's becoming like Adam Sandler's comedies are just not funny.
Sadly, I'm not going to argue that point. Even if the stuff around him is good, Will Ferrell can easily phone it in if he wants to, sadly. But anyway, best score. Malcolm, after that hot take us away on a musical journey.
Is it really a hot take? I thought it was just universally not liked.
We'll call it a nice lukewarm take.
But anyway, for best score, we've got Soul, Minari, Mank, Breaking the Runru title, Trend, News of the World, and The Five Bloods.
See what you did there.
But for this, I think Soul's got the momentum. I'm going to go with Soul on this.
And what about you, Abe?
Yeah. So I don't think you can add much to it. I think it's the best score of the year, honestly. Think of the ones that it's part of the story as a whole. Like it takes you in the story and plays important. You have been forgetting about those ones.
Don't remind me. I have, but go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, but like it's like when you do your homework and you forget it at home. That's what it's happening to you, right?
Listen, the worst thing is when you go to college and then you realize you just left your like at your dorm. It's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Soul plays the most important part in the movie. that it's telling the story of the score of Soul. So I'm picking Soul. I hardly see anything else winning.
How? Okay, this mouse is so sensitive. I literally swipe it one direction, it doesn't want me to go, and it's like, let's take you back to the screen where you. I'm the host of this thing. What are you?
Do you want advice? Change that mouse. Like
Yeah.
I changed it a couple years ago. I had one of. We're
Yeah.
tangent. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes, sorry. Yes, go ahead. Whoever was talking, please finish.
I believe the winner of this category for best score is going to be Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Those are going to be the winners. No, just kidding. They're actually the
You're not wrong.
They're twice nominated.
and Soul. I think those are the two front runners, ironically enough. And so one of them two films is going to win. Most likely it's going to be Soul. It's swept everywhere. So I think Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I think would this be Reznor's second Academy Award and Atticus Ross second?
Yes, because they won for Social Network.
Yeah. So this will be their second. So yeah, they get nominated twice. You know they're going to win. You know, you would think they would win, but yeah, I'd check that box if I were you out there, folks.
I mean, there's no other. The one they're actually nominated for too is also like running away with everything. So they're pretty good. They're doing pretty well. You know, they're doing pretty well. Yeah, this is Soul. Like it's without hesitation, this is Soul because I don't see Mank kind of outside of, well, we'll get to that. Outside of production design, it's going to be really hard for it to get itself over that edge. But yeah, there's nothing else to add other than the fact that it is in Soul.
I understood that reference.
Wait, what did I do? Was that unintentional? Wait, what? Wait, what movie?
Not Over the Edge. Great movie.
What did I say? I know Over the Edge and I love it. What did I say?
Over the Edge. Did you say?
Not that was not intentional. That was not an intentional. That was more just kind of like, wait, what did I do? But I actually own that. I would go get it, but it's in like the other room. I had to go. I still own that DVD. Anyway, moving along. What was that? Did you say? I don't know what you. I don't know. Okay, go ahead, Malcolm.
For best production design, there is Tenet, News of the World, Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and The Father. This was a tough one. I've been changing this so much over the times. I'm sticking with The Father, and because like after actually watching that movie, the production design is amazing. Just the way that it just seems to change, and all that, just the sets and everything is just incredible.
See, actually, someone else go. I'm looking up one more thing right now.
I'll tell you, Malcolm, this time I actually agree with you, but I really do believe what they do from changing from the room to room and apartment to apartment, or in the movie they call it flat, that sort of stuff is really amazing. But I think that's more of the editing than the production design. Even though the apartment looks cool and how they change from room to room and so forth, that is, I agree. It is pretty amazing how they make that look seamless. But I think as a Hollywood group, a bunch of actors, cinematographers, directors, these type of people that are going to vote, they're going to want to vote for something like old-timey that looks like Hollywood from the back in the day. And I believe with the black and white and the old kind of look to it and sound to it and feel to it, they're going to go with Mank. And because it's going to remind them of Hollywood and movie making and that sort of stuff and the different sound stages. And so I think Mank's going to win. But I do agree with what you're saying, Malcolm. The Father does have great production, and it's kind of like sneaky good production design. It really is. So, but I'm going to go with Mank.
And I have to agree with you, Dan. This is Mank. It won the Art Directors Guild for period film, which that's another great indication because last year, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won production design, correct? And the year before that, did The Favorite win production design as well? I'm trying to remember. I'm going to recall, but I'm looking back so far. No, what else won? What won production design?
Black Panther? No.
Black Panther. No, the Black Panther. Black Panther won fantasy film, I believe. But so far, from what I'm gathering, it seems to be that the person who wins the production to the Artists Guild Award, the Art Guild Awards, the Art Directors Guild Award, be it contemporary, period, or fantasy, will take it on to win. And The Father just did not win, and I don't think it was even nominated. It was with Travesty.
Just to confirm, Black Panther did win the Oscar for it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
It had amazing production design. Amazing.
Well, I agree with Malcolm with the points he makes about The Father. That if you were like similar to Soul, like which helps to tell the story the most, I think the production design plays a really important role in The Father. However, that doesn't mean it's gonna win. That doesn't mean I will put my money on it. I agree with Dan and Manning.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be Mank.
It's the biggest. It reminds me a lot of Lincoln when it won production design. It's just the biggest. It's the most like, they're getting back this feeling of a bygone past, and they're just kind of, they're showing it, and it's the most, but in this case, the most, it can actually be the best because of what the craftsmen do to create this wonderful world that we live in, or that we have traversed into. What is the makeup and hairstyling we got going on over Malcolm? That was
I just woke up from
makeup and
being asleep hairstyle, right, Malcolm?
For makeup and hairstyling, we've got
wasn't that funny, Abe?
we've got
I'll tell you
Mank,
later.
Emma, Pinocchio, Breaking the One Room Title Trend Again, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Hillbilly Elegy.
There's always two.
I mean, I've kind of ended up sticking with Hillbilly Elegy on this, because it's one of those ones that just for what they did with like all the prosthetics they used for Glenn Close and all that. So I'm pretty sure the Darkest Hour won a few years ago, and to me, Hillbilly Elegy is that similar vein in which I think it'll win this because of the prosthetics they did for just that one person. So,
Well, I mean, I believe, Malcolm, you make a very good point. You make very salient points about Hillbilly Elegy. But I think if you look at the overall cast, the main character of, Levy, look at his hair, look at the old 1920s hair and so forth that these guys have. And then also the makeup and hairstyling of Viola Davis's character. I think it's more people and more makeup and more hairstyling in Hillbilly Elegy than in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom,
Yes.
I should say, than Hillbilly Elegy, even though there's the one character in Hillbilly Elegy that we notice. It's really the cast, in my opinion, in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and that's why I believe this is going to win.
Now, I will say, though, no, I don't mean to hit that. Now, I do think Hillbilly Elegy could be a spoiler because there's always that year where that one for makeup and hairstyling. There's that one that always just seems to be like, wow, that one won. I can see that happening. I can even see Pinocchio maybe being that. I don't know, because apparently everything I've seen on film Twitter is that it is very, very good makeup. It's just a very weird film.
And a lot of people haven't seen it.
Well, a lot of people haven't seen it. That is the one thing against it. But I guess that's from the people that I know have seen it, said that it is the most makeup out of all of these. It is the most makeup. Because everything else kind of is subtle, but you're right. Hillbilly Elegy and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom are the physical transformations of these people. But Ma Rainey's Black Bottom also has the momentum because of I think it's won some makeup and hairstyling guild. I think it won the BAFTA. So that's another good indicator. I think this is Ma Rainey. You're with maybe Elegy being a spoiler, but I'm pretty confident in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I think this show intended very much but I laugh because you said makeup and you touch your hair like that, and then you said hairstyling and you did this to your face like you did.
I didn't even notice I did that. I didn't even notice that. Wow, good catch.
I was, usually the makeup category, it's that one character, like the Vice with Dick Cheney and Christian Bale and Darkest Hour with Gary Oldman. And sure, there's other elements, but usually it's that person. And I think in this case, I think Viola Davis, like, I think that makeup adds a lot to her character, like her style throughout the film, even though it takes place in just one location. It truly adds to her performance, and I think it's gonna be my Rain's Black Bottom.
All right, now we get on to some of the other ones before we get. Guys, we're about halfway there. Can you believe that? Look at us. We're making semi-good time.
We're halfway there. We're living on a prayer.
Thanks, Bond. We're halfway there. Best film editing. And you know what?
Good one.
Thank you. All right, so best film editing, because I'm horrible at this job when it comes to putting these things up. It's so hard. They're not in the right order. That's on me for making them in the wrong order. But best film editing, we have Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7, Nomadland, The Father, and Promising Young Woman. So this is going to be interesting because film editing is one of my favorite things, and I think we genuinely have a race in this one. To me, this is between two people, movies. These are entities. What is this? What was that? What was that? Where it's people are corporations or corporations are people. What was that ruling in the Supreme Court? Now we're making movies into people now. I can't remember. Political joke. So best film editing. This has to be, this is so difficult because it's literally a 50-50 shot. You have Sound of Metal or Trial of the Chicago 7, to me personally, that could take that, because one won BAFTA and one won the Ace Eddies. I'm not sure yet. I want to hear what y'all have personally. Abe, what do you have before I make my decision?
Manny, I honestly, this is one where I'm struggling the most to make my prediction.
No!
Because I still think Nomadland has a chance, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Chloe Shaw usually just won in the Spirit Awards for Best Editing, right?
We're going to find out right now, actually, if that is the case.
In the Spirit. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, wow. So are you telling me that there is a shot that we could have a random throw a dart and you could have any three of those people possibly winning for film editing? I see you smirking over there, Malcolm. What do you have to say to that?
I'm just saying I want The Father to win Best Film Editing. I kind of want this to be a year when all the ones that have won before do not win film editing. It's just something else. Because I really think The Father and Promising Young Woman are the better edited films out of this 5. And neither of them have won. So I kind of want one of them to just come out of nowhere and pull it off.
Listen, the year that we've been having, I would not be shocked at all if this turned out to be a year where it's just like, ha, you think that one? Well, think again, because we're just throwing all sorts of craziness into the mix. I do. So you want The Father to win, Malcolm. Do you think it's going to win? You may want it. What do you think is going to win?
It's what I've got on my goal derby prediction. So yeah, I think it's going to win.
All right. I love the boldness.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I was in the middle of my point. Somebody decided to just do not knock the door and came in my room. # my mom.
Well, that would do it. That would absolutely do it. So, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I think it's extremely hard because I see Nomadland because it's winning. It's most likely it's gonna win Best Picture. That seems correct. But then I see the Trial of the Chicago 7, and I'm thinking, that how you combination of old footage and the real life movie, that seems interesting. Some movies have won Best Editing with that kind of concept. And then I'm thinking, The Father is the best edited film in the year. So I think extremely hard to predict this one. I honestly probably will go with my safe choice if you were ask me, which will be Nomadland because of the Best Picture aspect of it. But I'll put my prediction down. Well, maybe not right now, but probably tomorrow.
Hey, you have
tomorrow
to
at 4:59.
There you go. It's just finalized before then.
4:59 my time. It's 7:59.
So, Dan, help me figure out which one I'm going to go for.
whoever thought that best film editing would be one of the most contentious
I love it.
awards of the whole thing? And it could be any of these. It could be Promising Young Woman. It could be The Father. It could be Trial of the Chicago 7. And all of these are nominated for Best Picture. So, yeah, every one of these are not. This is a very key award in the overall deal. I believe it's going to go to Sound of Metal, but like you guys have said, it could go to any one, A Promising Young Woman. It could go to The Father. It could go to Trial of Chicago 7. It could go to any. I mean, this is one you could really mess up your ballot if you get this wrong. If you're looking for a perfect ballot, come on Oscar Sunday. Usually I'm missing about, I get 2 or 3 wrong. So
No one gets a perfect ballot. I've like all that notions out in my head.
but I'm gonna go.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't want to sound condescending or whatever you want to call it. Like, can you guys tell me why will someone vote for Son of Metal? Because I don't see it. Like
the hands in the ear, the stuff with the sign language and stuff. It's making it so when you're doing your sign language, you're hearing, looking at the person, and they're reading what you're saying, and you're doing, and then they have to do it back and forth. Very good editing there, so it makes it seamless. The sign language and the talking, and then all that kinds of stuff that's going along with it. Because the main character, he can't hear, so people are talking.
Yeah. Well, I watch the film. It's just that, well, maybe it's that seamless that you cannot, like, I don't notice it. Maybe you're right.
And that's what I was going to say. It is one of the least flashiest when it comes to editing on all of this. And there's always been a correlation between sound and editing. Doesn't always win, but usually the thing that's been nominated for sound is also nominated for editing. So there is usually some sort, even if it was mixing or editing, sound editing.
You're not
either
wrong.
one.
Dunker won Best Editing, and they won a Sound Award. Ford v Ferrari won Best Editing, and it won a Sound Award.
Exactly.
Damn, Manny, you're convincing me.
See, that's the thing, and it won BAFTA, and while it's not the flashiest, the thing is, does it, like, the last movie or to win without a sound, I don't know if it was a sound nomination or a sound win, at least, was Argo, and this is very much, Trial of the Chicago 7 is very much Argo-like in the way that it is edited. It's flashy, it's quick-paced. It could be like that, and I could totally see it being that's the one thing that it wins on the night, because I don't know, but I do think I don't know. I'm probably going to switch it by the time it is all said and done, because I know there's the most, and if you have the broad Academy at large voting, they might vote for the most because they got Bohemian Rhapsody. Why? I don't know, but they did. So I'm going to go with.
Damn, Manning, that sound argument is pretty good. I haven't thought about that.
I know, and it's like, but this is the first time we're going to see if that sticks, because this is not flashy editing. The rest of the sound stuff has flashy editing. Dunkirk has phenomenal editing. It's flashy because they used all that the time sequence that goes, but it's fantastic. So I'm going to go with, because I know with Dan went with Sound of Metal, Abe, you're going with Nomadland, Malcolm's going with The Father. So right now I'm going to go with Trial of Chicago 7. So each one of us has something different, and I'm excited about that. So boom. Editing is going to be a fun category this year, and I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. See, Dan got it. There you go. Abe got it. Hey, I am loving it.
Making me hungry now.
I'm hungry too. I'm gonna eat immediately once we're done with this. I'm gonna go find something to eat because I'm starving.
What are the best fries in fast food?
Why are you asking this?
I really like McDonald's.
There's no question, Abe. Do you have McDonald's in New Zealand, Malcolm?
I mean, who doesn't have McDonald's?
Wait, what did you say? What did you say, Dan?
No, I asked him if he had McDonald's in New Zealand. I used
to work at McDonald's.
Oh, you did?
Oh, there you go.
I mean, McDonald's is one of the biggest fast food places of all time.
So you know how good McDonald's fries are, then. You know how good McDonald's fries are. So
They're really not good. They're not good.
McDonald's fries pale in comparison to a Five Guys fries for me personally. Those who have a Five Guys fries are fantastic. They pack that bag up. They put some Cajun seasoning on it. They are thick. They are not
You
little
don't get them
thin
all
ones.
the time, though. You don't go to Five Guys. You could literally go to McDonald's every day during the week. You can't do that with Five Guys because it's so expensive.
But
It's like
I would.
you have to treat yourself once in a while to Five
But
Guys.
I'd rather treat myself and hold off on fries because I can't stand McDonald's.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Manny, are you communist?
Oh! The
They
contention-
found me, brothers. We must go.
The fries contention. Whoever thought this would happen?
Dude, McDonald's is the most American thing ever. You tell me you don't.
Yeah,
understand
but
McDonald's?
I don't like McDonald's. Give me like something else besides that one. I'm bougie. I'm sorry. I like my Five Guys fries.
Look, I only live alone in college for like 6 months before COVID. And tell me something, McDonald's is really helpful because it's
Have you been
cheap.
to the Beacon? Have you been to the Beacon yet, Manning, in South Carolina?
Never.
Oh God, you got to go to the Beacon.
The Beacon. The Beacon. Anyway, we're getting off subject. Best costume design. Here we go. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Emma, Mank, Mulan, Pinocchio. Somehow Pinocchio made it on here. I still need to see it, and I hopefully will see it before all this is said and done. But this is one that I think you have to, Abe. We're forcing you. We're gonna like Clockwork Orange it. But this is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Like I don't see how it's anything else at this point because it has just kind of swept most things that it has been in. Even I'm pretty sure even like the period design for the actual Costume Designers Guild went with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom over like Emma. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna check that right now. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay.
I agree
shocking.
with
Look. This I think a lot of people would love to see Emma win something. I mean, and I know
Right.
Malcolm would. I know Malcolm's a big proponent for this film. He loves this film, Emma, and I would love to see Emma win something as well because I thought the film was very good. But it's going to be the 1920s garb, but then kind of the zoot suits or with the early zoot suits in the night in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and they changed it up over the years. So they do different things with this category, but I think it's going to go hand in hand with hairstyling, makeup, and hairstyling, and Ma Rainey is going to get this one.
Mm-hmm. Malcolm.
I predict that a movie set in a period time will win best costume design.
Good
But ultimately, I'm going for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Because it has swept. I do want Emma to play spoiler though.
Same. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. If that those are really, really great costumes in there, but I don't see it happening. Nope. Abe shaking his head. We're having our hopes are too high.
That
was
movie is boring. That Emma is boring as fuck. No, I think it's gonna be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Like honestly, like those are the best costumes.
I'm sorry. We don't have that heresy on here. I'm sorry. No.
Abe just did a drop. For a second, I thought Abe just did to drop the mic.
No. We don't have that heresy here, sir. Any more from you, you're getting kicked from that. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Oh
Abe.
gosh.
I want to tell you something. I'm gonna
Yes,
go
go
into
ahead.
tangents that you're gonna have to edit every single show like for 5 hours.
It's live. I'm not editing it.
Yeah.
Well, from the next
Go
couple
ahead,
of
Abe.
episodes, next year it's gonna be hell for you in the editing.
You're the one who just said Emma was boring. Please continue.
All right.
I
Now,
don't know.
who's up next? Who's up next with cinematography?
Oh, hold on. No, first off, what'd you say, Abe? You say it's Ma Rainey, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Before being disrespectful with that one.
Hey, listen, I'm not the one who said Emma was boring. Tisk tisk or tisk tisk. All right.
I don't know.
You're-
Everyone's
How
allowed to
many
be
people in
wrong.
the theater that wasn't even in the show was a white group of ladies in front of me.
Anyway,
Watch anyway. Best cinematography. Here we go. Oh, you hurt me, Abe. You hurt me. All right, best cinematography. Nomadland, Mank, News of the World, Judas and the Black Messiah, Trial of the Chicago 7. we had a spoiler last time at the American Society for Cinematographers for Mank, because I think this is going to be Nomadland, though, and it might be kind of a walk, because the Society for Cinematographers always has something different. So, Abe, you have a free tangent. Do you want to do a tangent, or you want to tell me what's going to win, you think? No? Okay.
No, I honestly think it's gonna be Nomadland, and after watching it in the theater, I agree. Like those skylines, whatever you want to say, I don't know how much is coming to
Beautiful.
color correction and everything, but it's beautiful shot. I think there's these little scenes, that they're like with fire and stuff like that. Everything's beautiful. Like it looks pretty good, and that's what cinematography usually does. The one that looks the prettiest, the cutest. I don't know how to put
It's
it. The most
striking,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
striking. I would like, thinking of like having the conversation about Mank, maybe search of frames of the movie, and it really looks beautiful, which I wouldn't be surprised. Like one wouldn't be upset at all. But I think with the, as I mentioned with the editing, the best picture correlation helps Nomadland chances. So I'm saying Nomadland right here.
I will say this, okay? Mank won the cinematographers award at this that guild because Nomadland, its cinematographer wasn't nominated for whatever reason. He's not in that guild, so he couldn't be nominated. There's some crazy stuff like that happens sometimes when it comes to the guilds. Same thing happens in some of the writing categories. So you get some of these odd things. Usually when a movie like Nomadland has swept this award in a bunch of they kind of just go in line. Plus, you've got to have a narrative for Nomadland because we all know it's going to win Best Picture and Best Director. So, what else can you give it to go along with that? And I think you can give Nomadland cinematography.
Point of quick clarification. First off, I want Nomadland. I need to buy that immediately after this is over. I need to buy the Blu-ray. Point of clarification. Nomadland was nominated. However, Joshua James Richards is not. He's not a certified cinematographer with the Guild. So maybe there's some politics in play where he was nominated, but he possibly. I don't know if Eric Yes, no, he is a certified cinematographer. Messerschmidt.
Messerschmidt.
Eric Messerschmidt is a certified cinematographer with the American. So I'm curious, the American Society for Cinematographers. Looking back, I'm curious now.
It's not like Mank's cinematography is bad. It's cool because it's black and white and it has like an aesthetic to it for that time period. So it's pretty good cinematography. So, but I think this is Nomadland. I mean, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous movie.
Oh, it's beautiful. Malcolm?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go Nomadland. I haven't seen it myself, but I don't want Mank to win because I think that's cinematography's boring as shit.
My.
Actually, Malcolm.
Okay, I'm not.
Oh no. Oh boy. Oh no. Fight. Let them fight.
Let them fight.
Why are you not dropping for those kinds of comments?
Why don't you drop Malcolm?
Because it's Nomadland.
Drop him.
You're right.
Now, do it.
He said Nomadland at the beginning, though. He first said Nomadland.
It's because I don't care. Because Mank is not something I adore as I adore Emma. Now, if he said that to Emma, then this is what I would be doing. Click. Goodbye, Malcolm.
But the thing is, too, I'll tell you what. If you really, I don't know if you guys have seen News of the World, but I'll tell you what
beautiful cinematography,
gorgeous cinematography in News of the World. I mean, gorgeous, and that old West feeling, that like the different, like the skylines and the different distance and stuff in the distance. They do a beautiful job on News of the World. So that would be a kind of out there left field winner, but I wouldn't be surprised, guys. Don't be surprised.
I would have loved for it to have just gotten a little more better overall for that cinematography. That is gorgeous, just like very natural lighting from everything. I don't know if it's natural lighting, but it seems to be natural lighting. But this is Nomadland. through and through, because the American Society for Cinematographers likes to go a little off the wall. Like they'll give it to Lion, they'll give it to Cold War, they'll give it to Skyfall or Tree of Life. None of those won Oscars, so they'll give it to something usually that doesn't get a lot of love. Malcolm?
But I mean, I will finally be able to see Nomadland later anyway, because it's dropped on Disney Plus for me at the end of April. So.
Oh, good.
That's amazing. Holy cow.
Yeah.
We've got Star, so of course.
Disney Blu-ray too.
It's a Disney Blu-ray?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, it was Searchlight, which used to be Fox, so it's now Disney.
That never mind. That makes sense.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense.
So
right.
you're
Yes.
up next, Manning, still?
No, I just finished the
Am I up?
cinematography, so you are up with original screenplay.
All right. Original screenplay. Okay. The nominees are for original screenplay: Sound of Metal, Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Child of the Chicago 7, and Promising Young Woman. Okay. Now, I've come out on record in the past saying I think Aaron Sorkin should get this. I think the script of Child of the Chicago 7 is incredible. It seems, though, like the tea leaves are going towards something else, because someone that got director a nomination for Best Director and who's in this category, sometimes that translate. They like to give that person so they can give multiple awards to the directors. And so I believe Promising Young Woman, Emerald Fennell, is going to win that award, and she's been kind of scooping awards up here and there, and I believe she did win for the Indie Spirit Awards the other night. So I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think they're going to give it to Emerald Fennell, and it's a great script. Don't get me wrong, but I just prefer the script from Child of the Chicago 7 better. But The Father's another one that's great. Oh, that's in another category. My bad.
Yes, but it is a great one.
But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, Aaron Sorkin's dead in the water for original screenplay.
Yeah.
Promising Young Woman has been winning everywhere. So it's at this point, I'm just saying Promising Young Woman because it's a better script than Trial of the Chicago 7. Yes, I said it.
It's your opinion. You have a right to say
we are
yeah,
we are having hot takes left and right over here when it comes to the panel, and I love it. Aaron Sorkin only won Golden Globe, and I think that was more of an indicator for like, we love Aaron Sorkin here, take this, because I think he won also for Steve Jobs, which was did not translate well. And I think the Golden Globes like him more than the Oscars do. I think he's definitely a TV guy, and I think that translates over. So this definitely has to be Promising Young Woman at the end of the day. Abe, sorry, you brought your mic ready to talk.
If you truly love hot takes, you would have dropped me from the car a while ago. Yeah,
I do like hot takes, but I disagree with the hot take. Too hot. It's too hot, Abe.
I think it's gonna be Promising Young Woman. I find it really hard. Well, I don't find it that hard that Aaron Sorkin wins, because I don't see anywhere else other than the editing where Trial of the Chicago wins anything. But
good point.
That's
get a
where
donut.
That's where.
And the thing too, Abe, is I just want to interject real quick. Getting a good argument on screen where it's like a natural argument, where it doesn't sound fake and it doesn't sound like contrived, and the way Frank Langella just starts going off on all these different people, and then you get Mark. That stuff it's hard to make that seem real. And to me, that was really like genuine, like, oh, these guys are just bickering back and forth, going back. And that seemed real to me, even though we know it's a script. So that's hard to write and then direct that. So I just wanted to add my 2 cents into that.
Talking about bad arguments in movie, just look at Marriage Story.
Yeah, that was good. Marriage Story argument was very good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Promising Young Woman. Manning, you're muted in case you want to talk next.
Thank you. I always seem to forget. I forget to unmute myself. Thank you, Abe. So, yeah, no, I do agree. I'm just gonna wrap it up. This is between Chicago and Promising Young Woman. It's just kind of Especially with the new young members that are in, and the expansion, I can definitely see them going with Promising Young Woman. And this is not a knock on the quality of Chicago 7. I think they're both really great scripts. Promising Young Woman, though, just has the momentum, and this is the only one that's going to win on the night for some people that have in their predictions. We're about to go get that in a minute. This is where you reward the film. So keep going, Dan.
Yeah, because if you think about it, either or Fresnel or Aaron Sorkin, this would be their big award, because they're not going to win in director, or they're not going to win best picture, so this would be the way to reward either one of them. So it's just, that's why it's a contentious award, because it's who you're going to give this award to give them something where you can't give them something somewhere else, so Oscars love spreading the love. That's one of the things they do love doing, just spread it around. Very rarely. I know some years where one movie wins a bunch, but all right. So best supporting actor, we have next.
Don't forget original screenplay.
Oh, original screenplay.
Adapted. Excuse me. Thank you.
Adapted. So, that's right. My bad. Glad you said that. I skipped right over that. Okay. So we have the White Tiger, One Night in Miami, Borat, subsequent movie film, The Father, Nomadland. Okay. Let's put this in a way that people can understand. Nomadland was filmed in a way that it doesn't have a great script. That script was written as the movie was going on. Whatever happens with the character as she's traveling around, and then the people are just kind of talking based on questions. Maybe the director's asking them, so they're answering questions based. So it's kind of like a documentary feel to it. So it doesn't seem like it's got a lot of script to it. The Father, on the other hand, has a lot of script, because that's a lot for Anthony Hopkins to say, and then have all these different characters come in and out, acting opposite him, and that's based on a play. So it's obviously a very fine-tuned script the Father has, whereas Nomadland's kind of like they're writing it as they go, which is kind of a little bit more like documentary feel. But if you're going to reward Nomadland in that kind of like, okay, it won this, and this, best picture, director, maybe this is where you give Nomadland another award to get it up to 4 or 5. We all predicted 3, I believe, when we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. We thought maybe it could get 3, and maybe this is one of the 3. I don't know for sure, but The Father is got a great script, and I know a lot of folks out there love Borat. Maybe some of the guys here on the panel like Borat as well. I don't know. And One Night in Miami's got a great script. I think when you put 4 people in a room and all they're doing is talking to each other, it has to be an engaging script. So I think One Night in Miami is a great script. But I'm going to go with Nomadland as part of its package to win on the night, to be the big winner on the night. So that's me. I don't know what you guys want to know.
I mean, I think, if I remember rightly, Borat's subsequent movie Film 1 adapted at the Writers Guild, but that was only because Nomadland and The Father both weren't eligible for whatever reason. But ultimately, I think for the Oscars, I think it's going to be between Nomadland and The Father. I may end up changing my mind 1 minute before the predictions close on Gold Derby tomorrow. But at the moment, I'm sitting on Nomadland. But yeah.
Go
Go ahead, Abe. I'm gonna hear what everyone says first.
Okay. Guys, I'm thinking about the last. Well, Roma did not win Best Picture, but was a front runner. I was thinking about The Shape of Water. Nominated for script, didn't have the strongest script, right? Like Green Book won screenplay. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Parasite won screenplay. Well, my whole argument went to shit, thinking that Roma won Best Picture. I was thinking about that. Like usually, movies like that don't have the strongest script can win some other awards, but usually being nominated in script is enough, like, to win the Best Picture. And I don't see Nomadland's script like being that strong, honestly. Like you don't think about it like the dialogue or anything, as Dan was said at the beginning of this section of the show, we will call so, is that like it's more kind of documentary filmmaking of what's happening and move on the story and build it as it goes. And I don't see that how that benefits it. So I still think it's a race. Will not be surprised no matter one, but I honestly going with the father because if we're talking about that sharing of the love for the best picture nominees, which one's missing one win? It's the father. I think this is the category where he can be rewarded.
I'm gonna agree exactly with what everything that Abe said. This is the place that can be rewarded if it wins nothing else, and it won the BAFTA and it lost WGA because it wasn't there. And I think with how it juggles everything, again, I haven't seen The Father. I'm going to see it soon. I promise. It's just that $20. Why? My tickets here are 10. And it's just like, I think this is where it's going to happen. If Nomadland wins this, then it's like this is going to be a great night for Nomadland. Like, watch out, because Frances McDormand might win actress if it's winning something like this, because that'll show this movie is beloved. This isn't just liked a lot. This is beloved, but they like to spread the love around, and I think they're going to spread it to, The Father. So I do agree. And Dan, I do love Borat.
He does a great job, and he directs it. He wrote it. I mean, he does a great job with The Father. I've been championing The Father since back in November. Manning recalls.
Yep. Oh yes.
Best supporting actor: Lakeith Stanfield, Sacha Baron Cohen. Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Sacha Baron Cohen for Trial of the Chicago 7. Paul Raci for Sound of Metal. Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, and Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. This has been a landslide for Mr. Daniel Kaluuya. If you vote against him, you're just asking to not get anywhere close on your ballot. If you vote for anybody else in this category, I don't know what's wrong with you. Why are you even involved in this kind of stuff?
You're probably the sibling of one of the other nominees.
Yeah, it's Daniel Kaluuya all the way, and he deserves it. Even though he may not be a supporting, he might be the lead. Him and Lakeith Stanfield might be co-leads, but it's one of those Christian Bale deals where we want to give him an Oscar this year, so we're going to put him in this category so we can give him an Oscar. And Daniel Kaluuya, he's locked this thing up months ago.
Look, I think we decided this earlier. And that is the lead of Judas and the Black Messiah.
And you're right. It's in the center.
But yeah, I mean, this is when I'm going with Daniel. I think he was great in there. This is one of those ones, like, after seeing Judas, it's definitely not easy to tell which one is actually supposed to be lead, because I think they're both really equal screen time, and it's just one of those ones that sometimes some movies don't have a lead. It's a big ensemble in which everyone can be considered as supporting. Like the Avengers movies is one that I point to for that, because there's no really true lead in that. They're all more supporting. So I think when it comes to those kind of movies, I think for them both to end up in supporting is not that too far out there. This is one I wouldn't be surprised if Lakeith Stanfield actually comes out of nowhere and takes it from Daniel. But yeah.
That's not far-fetched, because he's never fought against Lakeith Stanfield. And the thing that I'm concerned about is possible vote splitting. Again, I know we had this discussion before. It could be like a Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell situation where it doesn't happen whatsoever. And Dan's like saying, nope, not at all. But like the possibility could arise where Lakeith Stanfield be the one like, oh yeah, we really love him. At the end of the day, it's Kaluuya. It's Kaluuya. It's going to be. And out of all the acting races, this is the most cut and dry, honestly.
What's your $100 bet on Gold Derby
on this one?
On Daniel Kaluuya. Just put one of your two bets.
It's going to happen. Maybe Paul Raci, if there's a spoiler. Maybe if they really like it.
I'll tell you what. That was an interesting scenario. Both Riz Ahmed and Paul Raci won the Male Actor Awards at the Indie Spirits, which is very fascinating, because Chadwick Boseman was nominated and Daniel Kaluuya wasn't, because it's Warner Brothers. So Daniel Kaluuya wasn't. So Paul Raci ended up winning, but Daniel Kaluuya wasn't, or neither was Lakeith Stanfield. So that's a Warner Brothers movie. So
Maybe that was their consolation prize. All like, oh, you're never not going to win the Oscar, or you're not going to win that, but like we think you're excellent representation for. It won all 3 indie spirits that it was nominated for.
Yeah.
The first feature, male, and supporting male. That's impressive.
Yeah, and I put that in my article, but my editor he didn't edit my article and give it to me so I could post it. But I had my Indie Spirit article written yesterday, and I wanted to have it put out this morning so anybody that wanted to read it, they could read it. But obviously, that's not going to happen. So
it's okay. The Oscars are the big one. Make sure that's what we got to shoot for.
I got to have that baby written someday.
Yeah, you do. But that's my thoughts on it. And where are we right now?
Who's got Malcolm or Abe's got best?
Wait,
actress?
Abe, you got supporting actress, actor, and
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Supporting actor.
That is right.
Michael Bay style in honor of Bad Boys for Life mentioned for every episode of Gone with the Wind.
Oh God!
Obligatory Bad Boys reference.
Okay, the nominees are.
Is that going to be the new
Jong?
Yeah, here it goes again.
Maria Bakalova.
Is this
Glenn Close?
Oh, the mind. Sorry.
Olivia Colman and Amanda Seyfried or Seyfried. Still do not know her.
It is Seyfried. In the interview that she did, she said it is Seyfried. However, she doesn't even know apparently. So
Seyfried.
Use what you know.
Seyfried will be better. Right?
Seyfried.
Okay.
Seyfried. Dan, what were you gonna say?
No, I just want to say that Malcolm.
Who?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was talking over you, so I apologize. I can't even remember what I was saying now.
Okay, if it comes back to you, just interject and I will stop. But I was going to, Abe, you tell me what you think is going to win this. Who is going to win this?
I honestly think it's going to be Jung Jong. I don't know how to pronounce that really, but
Jong-yeon.
Okay, that
Yun.
Well, that name, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead. YJ. Let's call her YJ.
I mean, she won SAG. She won BAFTA, right? She won BAFTA. Right? Okay.
Won 3 times now. She's won 3 in a row, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe she won the last 3 things.
Indie Spirits.
Yeah.
She's so hot right now.
Yeah, she's got
so I think if somebody can upset it just because the Academy is the Academy, I'm thinking Glenn Close just for the sake of it. But if I'm that would be crazy. But if I'm placing my money on it, it will be Jung Jong-yeon. Let's
do YJ.
This is the vid for Abe always correcting Manning on Yelitsa Aparicio.
I'm not gonna try.
You know what the thing is that I'm trying to do it like how an English speaker would say it. If I would say it as Spanish speaker, it would be Ju Jung Jong.
Oh, Jesus.
Sounds weird.
That's not right.
That's the thing. Like I sometimes say Iñárritu when I know it's Iñárritu.
I say Iñárritu. So there you go.
No, it's Iñárritu. It's
Iñárritu.
But anyway,
yes,
we've gone from food to now pronunciation lessons.
Oh yeah,
gone with the pronunciations.
Well, we're gonna get into it eventually.
We'll get it.
But with this one, like, this really isn't as cut and dry. This is one that, like, well, yes, Yun has won the last few things, but this is one that it could go any which way. I don't think there's a true front runner in this. I really want Maria Bakalova to win. I think Olivia Colman should win for The Father, but I do think it's going to go to Yun Yun from Minari.
Oh, well, Manning hasn't seen The Father. I don't want to spoil it to you.
Yeah, the thing
Here.
is, look, don't worry about that, Manning. Just put your things back on, Manning. Don't worry. I'll be honest with you. This is obviously everybody's going to want to reward Ju Young in there, but you just cannot count out Glenn Close. You just don't know what they're going to do. And I sound like a broken record. I apologize. Every episode, I keep bringing this up. Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman. Paul Newman for The Color of Money.
Wow.
I mean, these people have won for the most ridiculous movies. Why wouldn't Glenn Close win for Hillbilly Elegy, that movie that everybody hates, except
Al Pacino was great in Scent of a Woman.
I
think he deserved the Oscar for that. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Oh,
not
wow.
saying
Hot.
he didn't, but I'm sitting here saying, Malcolm, that it's not Serpico. It's not The Godfather Part 1 and 2. It's not Dog Day Afternoon. It's not
Great movie.
Scarface. You see what I'm saying? You know,
Scent of a Woman is better than both his performances in all of those.
whatever.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wait.
Have you watched Dog Day Afternoon? That's top 10
Come on,
best
Malcolm.
movies ever.
I haven't watched
Son
that
of a
one.
Woman's great. No, there's no doubt about it. He has some very good moments, some great scene-stealing moments in Son of a Woman. But all I'm trying to say is actors win all the time. Look, Humphrey Bogart won for The African Queen and not Casablanca. Ingrid
Man, I hate
Bergman
that
wins
movie.
for something else and not Casablanca. They do it all the time. They give it. That's why the Academy Awards is a popularity contest. A lot of times, it's just what can they give people for various different things. You know, should Spike Lee have won for Black Klansman over Malcolm X or Do the Right Thing or some of these other movies? Probably not, but he does, and that's what he's nominated. He wins for. So Glenn Close could easily kind of come out of nowhere, even and win because they're sick of this conversation. They're sick of us saying, "Oh, Glenn Close hasn't won." Is she going to get nominated for something else? Probably, more than likely, but you don't know. You don't know. You know, this decade has not been good to people. A lot of people can, I'm not saying she's going to kick the bucket, but you don't know. She could kick the bucket, never have won an Academy Award. So then you say, "Oh man, why don't we give her for Hillbilly Elegy or the wife or whatever?" But I think it's Yu Young is going to win, but you just can't count out her because of the overall arcing story that involves Glenn Close.
True, which is why I think that if her next movie, if Hillbilly Elegy was received better, and if it was a better, bigger of a player, she would be winning this because there is no strong supporting actress like Yu Jung-yeon is still vulnerable. She is not someone who's who's walking away with it. This is like this isn't as locked up as obviously supporting actor, but there's still a chance that something could come out of nowhere. I still think it is Yu Jung-yeon, but I don't know if if she's like, yes, this is it, absolutely, no question holds bar. But I still think it to be the case. Put the money down on her because that BAFTA and SAG do mean something. The two largest voting bodies in comparison to something like Golden Globes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones like in some years, in other years that Glenn Close has been nominated, she's won something that year to keep in that conversation. I don't think she's won any of the precursors for Hillbilly Elegy. So
No.
that's kind of why I'm saying that I don't think she's got a chance this time around. Just
Good
because
point.
Good point, man. Malcolm, very valid point. She won everything for the wife. She won everything for the wife. The only
except for BAFTA.
Oh, okay. But she had won BAFTA before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out right now.
But I mean, it's one of those ones like there's a lot of great actors that unfortunately have never won an Oscar that's been nominated a lot. Because Peter O'Toole is one of those that has been nominated about 8 times but never won. So I mean, unfortunately, it could be a possibility for Glenn Close to just not win something in her career. And I mean, it's one of those ones. A lot of people say it's just to be nominated anyway. So I mean, I think it's not like Glenn Close can say she's never been nominated. So
she's been nominated 9 times or 8 times. She's nominated 8 times. 8 times. 8 times. It's amazing. She's never won a BAFTA either. She is only She's only been nominated for 2 BAFTAs. The BAFTAs, the British doesn't really care for Glenn Close that much. Wow, that's a discrepancy. She's only been nominated for 2 BAFTAs. The Wife, she wasn't nominated for the BAFTA this year either. She won for The Wife. She's nominated for The Wife and Dangerous Liaisons. That's it. That's kind of incredible to think about. She has not won too many. But yeah, that's okay. So just quickly. I say Yu Jung-un. Dan, who do you say?
Yu Jung-young.
Malcolm,
Yu Jong-yun.
and then Abe.
I won't mention that name. I'm forcing that if that's what you say.
Perfect. All right, Abe, hit us with the next one.
For Best Actor, you have Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins, The Father, Riz Ahmed, Son of Metal, Steve Yeun, Minari, Gary Oldman, Mank. As much I would like Anthony Hopkins to win for The Father, can I just kill that narrative? People are saying this is Anthony Hopkins' best
Kill it.
performance of his career. I mean, have you watched Silence of the Lambs?
I
don't
think
care.
he's only like
This is more
15 minutes.
sensitive. This is more. This is a little careful. But what that guy does in Silence of the Lambs is crazy good. That's everything I'm gonna say about that. I think it's gonna be Chadwick. I think he has winning everything. I think he has this. He has a narrative in his favor. I think it would be great to reward his incredible career with it. And that's it. I think it's gonna be Chadwick. I don't think you can also anything else.
I mean, I mean, I'm kind of the same as much as I want to say it's going to be Anthony Hopkins for The Father. I do think Chadwick's going to take it out. I do think he's won he's won everything, most of the things before this, and it's just one of those ones that there's a lot of narrative for posthumous ones. I think is really high out there. Just he's great. But Anthony Hopkins' best performance is not The Father or Silence of the Lambs. It's when he played a Kiwi guy in Burt Munro in World's Fastest Indian.
You know,
Never heard of this movie. What in the world?
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. World's Fastest Indian is a good movie. But this is, I'll tell you what, this is a lot closer than it had been in weeks, because The Father didn't come out until just like a month ago. And the reason so Boseman was winning everything leading up to that, but the Academy voters finally had a chance to see The Father. I obviously have been talking about The Father since November, and you guys finally saw it, and you guys agree with me. Anthony Hopkins gives the best performance of the year, but they're not going to be able to give Chadwick Boseman another Academy Award nomination or another Academy Award for that matter. And so that's the kind of story that we're dealing with here, why he's going to win this. And it's not just the acting body, it's all the other bodies that vote on this. And I think they're all going to have the sympathy card there, and they're going to give it to Chadwick Boseman's widow and get her after Grit up there and talk. And it's sad because this is kind of the role. I mean, Hopkins, 2 years in a row, he's been nominated. He's been nominated for the 2 popes, and now he's been nominated for The Father. And the guy's at the top of his game, and he's like 80-something years old. He could have been the oldest winner of this award by like 5 years or something like that if he had won. It would be amazing if he did win, but I think a lot of people would be regretting if they didn't give it to Chadwick Boseman and have his widow get up there and talk and say all these wonderful things. So I believe it's Chadwick Boseman. And you can't count the BAFTA as something because he's English, and of course they're going to give it to him. So that's my 2 cents.
I mean, was Chadwick even nominated for the BAFTA?
He was indeed. So I am not as funny, the one person who has not seen The Father. I'm the one person who's playing around with Anthony Hopkins being the winner, mainly because if you look at some of those, what's the word? Anonymous Oscar ballots. Yes, they're only a small percentage, but if you read some of them, they're like, oh, Chadwick Boseman's going to win, but I'm voting for Anthony Hopkins as the father. Because a lot of those same people have the same feeling you guys are having about Chadwick Boseman's going to win. But man, I'd vote for Anthony Hopkins and the father. And if that has enough people, and enough people do that, you're going to have a repeat of BAFTA where our jaws were on the floor because we saw someone we thought was. I think this BAFTA win gives them permission to say, Chadwick Boseman, you might have loved him, but also you can vote for Anthony Hopkins. That's where the possibility comes in of an upset. And I think it's going to be close because I think you're going to have people being like, oh, I love this performance. And they're not going to consider the fact of like, hey, Chadwick Boseman gives another phenomenal performance, but he did pass away. And we're going to not know whether it was, if he wins, we're not going to know if it's going to be for the quality or for his passing. Just we'll never know for like, he and Heath Ledger passed away. Is it the quality of the performance or was it his passing or was it a mixture of both? I see a lot of people wanting to talk. Abe, what are you going to say?
He's sleeping.
Abe?
Can I just mention this? I remember that Anthony Hopkins announced he was retiring a couple years ago.
You
Do
can't
you
keep
guys
him out of
remember
acting.
that he was retiring from acting?
Yep.
Keep a good man down.
I remember he mentioned, and now that guy went back to back Oscar nominations after.
Hey, you know what? Good for him.
Just
Good
Keep
for
an eye
him.
out
So
for the Virtuoso. It's coming out.
I know.
He could be nominated again.
And he could win this year. Now, I still think it's Chadwick Boseman. I might. This is like that film editing where I might switch it by the end of the, when everyththing's due. I might switch it.
15 minutes. You got 15 minutes before the ceremony starts to switch.
Wait, it cuts off like in 15 minutes?
No, before the
15
ceremony
minutes before the
starts.
Oscars.
Oh, I thought you meant today. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. That's too much pressure.
No. You got before Sunday. You got 15 minutes before. So you got almost right up until the show to
and
switch.
see, that's why I'm playing with that because just imagine if everyone voted for I love his performance, I want to reward him the Oscar. We saw that with BAFTA. Yes, he is British, and yes, he has won a BAFTA before as well too. I think he's won 2 BAFTAs, maybe just 1. I'm not positive. Regardless, this could be a repeat where we have people voting their hearts like, oh, I love Chadwick, but I want to go with Hopkins. We showed there was kink in the Chadwick armor with BAFTA, and if there's enough people in BAFTA, that'll move over as a possibility. No, Dan, you disagree?
No, I do disagree because I don't think you could really. There's not a lot of correlation between BAFTA and this, in my opinion. He's British. He's knighted in England. He's a god over there, Anthony Hopkins. They don't have that kind of the story about the black man in America and all this kind of stuff and the role that he's playing in that movie. And they don't have that kind of love for Chadwick Boseman like a lot of Americans. And you got to remember, they've been expanding the Academy voters for 3 or 4 years now, and they've been putting a lot more minority people in there for reasons just like this.
No, and you're right, and that's why I'm going to keep Chadwick Boseman, but I don't think you could be like, well, he's locked, he's absolutely winning. We all thought that Chadwick Boseman was still going to win. Were we shocked when Anthony Hopkins won? Well, I personally was, but I just think we need to keep an eye out for the possibility of people really loving the father and it going away with not just Screenplay, but Malcolm.
Yeah. Dan, you are correct. Anthony Hopkins is a god. He's Odin.
You just
Nice.
had to get that in there, didn't you, Mal?
Nice.
I mean, this is one that I think we can all agree it's going to be Anthony or Chadwick. I mean, this is this is legitimately a 2-horse race in my opinion. And I'm with Maddie. I'm sticking with Chadwick. I may change it by next, because this is one I actually had my super bet on until 25 seconds ago when I changed it, when I switched my super bet off that and put it onto supporting.
Good move.
But because this is one of those ones that I I do think there's a chance Avery Hopkins can pull it away. But yeah,
No, I do agree with that. I think there's a chance. However, I still have Chadwick Boseman because that is a safe bet. He won SAG, which is the biggest indicator more than anything else. Just as a possibility, mainly more than anything else.
Acting is the largest body that's voting for the Academy Awards.
But also, I will also throw back the idea of when Fences, Denzel Washington won SAG, Casey Affleck won BAFTA, and so that is the possibility. That's the one thing I'm thinking about when Casey Affleck won BAFTA and he lost SAG. So somehow there was some sort of correlation, but he also had the momentum. So the father is gaining the right momentum. So again, I'm going safe. I'm going with Chadwick, but again, I want everyone to keep an eye out for Anthony Hopkins. Just a thought.
And I've been saying it since November.
You have, and so Dan will get bragging rights since November. All right. What is the next race? This is the fun race. What do we have?
Abe is up next.
Actress. Karen Mulligan, Promising Young Woman. Viola Davis, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Andra Day, The United States versus Billie Holiday. Frances McDormand, Nomadland. Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman. Okay, I honestly, I was rooting for Karen Mulligan, but I've been thinking about this the last couple of days, weeks, if you will call it, and I think extremely hard to predict. This is another editing thing that I can see a case for 3 of them winning, and I just find it hard. I want to see Karen Mulligan, but as you mentioned, she just won the Golden Globe. No, she didn't win Golden Globe, right? She did. No, she did.
She's
not
won
win
critics
Golden
and
Globe.
indies. And that's it.
Yeah, she only won critics.
I thought Carrie did get. Oh no, that was Andra Day.
I know.
Golden Globe.
This best actress is crazy.
You might not be able to use Golden Globe to predict this year.
I mean, I mean, you never could anyway because there's always 2 different categories in the Globe. So,
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
So this is gonna be an interesting one because I could see. All right. So sorry, Vanessa Kirby, you're just happy to be there. Honestly, there is a shot in a weird way that you have any of these 4 women besides Vanessa Kirby winning. There's a weird shot Andra Day could do it. She's the lowest one in my opinion. You could have Frances McDormand doing it mainly because she won BAFTA. Was she had to accept it? No, and there was really no one else there for stiff competition. But then you also have Carey Mulligan, who has the cultural zeitgeist. She has the push. People want to see her win, but she's won no big televised awards outside of the critics and the indies. While there is like zero correlation, and it's more just kind of a, hey, this is the best in indie filmmaking. And then we have Viola Davis. Viola Davis won SAG. She has won 2 SAGs before, and that was her 3rd SAG. This would be her SAG for film, excuse me, more so than anything else. This would be her 2nd Oscar. This 2nd time a Black woman has won Best Actress since Halle Berry in Monsters Ball. That was years ago. And this would be a good narrative for that to transpire. Viola Davis, one of the best actresses working today, winning another Oscar for her performance. Well, I didn't think it was the best performance of the year. I think it's a very well-respected performance and goes outside her comfort zone. And I want to say this could be the case where Viola Davis wins. And then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom gets 4 Oscars on the night without a Best Picture nomination, which would be wild. But it's totally looking like a possibility.
yeah. But yeah, this is for me. I'm sticking with Carey Mulligan on this. I think her performance in Promising Young Woman is amazing. I mean, this is what at this point it could go any one of 4 ways. Because like everyone except Vanessa Kirby has won something somewhere. I mean, it sounds like it's just thinking out Vanessa Kirby, just like, oh, you never won anything.
Oh,
hey.
Personally, I think she gives one of my favorite performances of the year, so she'd be my personal pick. So, Vanessa, if you're watching this, you're fantastic.
I mean,
you're not, but
the one thing I'll laugh is if it turns out Vanessa Kirby just comes out of nowhere.
Hilarious.
There's no way.
Because all the Oscar voters are feeling bad. It's like, Oh, she's
Well-
not winning anything. We'll give it to her here.
The first half hour is incredible. What she does in the first
Yes.
half hour of that film is probably some of the best acting of the entire year. It's just the rest of the film is a little bit melodramatic, and it can be a little bit, act over the top. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think it's her. You hear this phrase a lot. It's her time. It's his time. It's their time. It's Carey Mulligan's time. She is going to win this. If she doesn't win this, I'll legitimately upset because Viola Davis has got an Academy Award. Frances McDormand's got 2. Are you going to give her a third Best Actress?
I don't see them doing that. That'd be so weird.
And then, Andra Day, I just think she's the newcomer. She's a musician turned actress, kind of. I don't see it. And I believe it's her time. It's Carey Mulligan's time. And I think she's going to win. And Abe, go ahead. Say whatever. Say your piece.
Please.
Oh no, I was gonna say like I'm leaning Karen Mulligan, and that's because the thing I told you a couple weeks ago, guys, that usually the best actress does not repeat like really close in time gap. Like the shortest gap was what did I tell you? It was oh my god, I'm forgetting her name. The Aviator, Blue Jasmine, Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
Like it passed 9 years between her 2 wins. And in actor usually happens, in an actress it does not. And they usually go with the young actress, young beautiful actress. And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but who will feed that profile? It will be Karen Mulligan.
Yeah.
That Oscar profile they usually go with. And I think that it's been it's everybody has something that you will say she has an argument, but it has been so split that you have. I think I'm playing with the tendencies, like what I've seen. Like actresses usually don't win that close to each other. Frances McDormand won an Oscar. What year is Fargo? 96, 95, right? It took her
Something like that.
2017, 2018.
96, I think.
It took him 20 years to win another Oscar. It's crazy to think that, like before it was more close because you had these actresses like the oh my god, why am I forgetting actresses? The Katharine Hepburns, the Audrey Hepburns, the Betty Davis, actresses like that they were the stars of the studio that were put in these titular roles. But right now it's that much of a tendency of that Jennifer Lawrence, the Anne Hathaway, you can go on and name actresses that fit that profile, which is not right. Like if you see it like in a social way, but that's what happens, and we're trying to predict and we're trying to find the points, to why this may happen. And I think that's why Karen Mulligan has a little of the edge in the race.
Yeah, one thing I do want to bring up because Dan did say that they probably won't give Francis a third one this close. Do we think anyone has the potential to join Katharine Hepburn with the most Oscar wins with 4?
Yeah, Meryl Streep will get a 4th Academy Award, in my opinion. You just got to wait for the right role. Look, my opinion, Malcolm, and I'll let you speak in a second. I know you're chomping at the bit here. She should have won for Julie and Julia. So if she wins for Julie and Julia and the Iron Lady back to back, bam, she's got 4. She got literally robbed for Julie and Julia. She should have won for that. Has she been nominated for some things, questionable things she shouldn't have been nominated for? Sure. Like Into the Woods and stuff like that. But Meryl is going to get that 4th one.
She still has to get a third one.
She does have a 3rd one.
She does have a 3rd one.
She's only got 2. She's only one prize.
Sophie's Choice and the Iron Lady. Kramer versus Kramer, Sophie's Choice, and the Iron Lady.
Kramer versus Kramer supporting, though. I'm not talking about lead.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said overall, 4 overall.
Okay.
So I'm just saying 4 overall. She's gonna tie in
because like Katharine Hepburn's won 4 best lead actress. So that's what I was talking about.
For lead actress, that's going to be an interesting thing to do because even Jack Nicholson hasn't won 3 lead. He's won like a supporting and then 2 lead.
Yeah.
Because at the moment there's so much people tied for two wins that it's going to be interesting to see, because you've got Meryl Streep, Bette Davis, Ingrid Bergman, Jane Fonda, Elizabeth Taylor, Olivia de Havilland,
Wow.
Glenda Jackson, Jodie Foster, Frances McDormand, Sally Field, Vivian Lee, Luz Rayner, Hilary Swank all have two wins. The
Can I
last
just say
four,
something?
both run for both the nominations. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Manny. Like, if somebody were to do that, if Jodie Foster hadn't stepped down from acting a little bit, I think she would have a chance. Because whatever you want to say, Jodie Foster, when she has it in it, like, she's just incredible.
She can bring it. Yeah.
Meryl had a decade where she was raising her kids, the 90s. She did a couple things, but she didn't do as many things as she could have in the 90s.
Oh no, also
or the early
like
2000s.
just to say that I know we were like Meryl Streep. I'm sorry, but I know it's a joke by now that she gets nominated every year, but that woman can act the hell. You know, there's this
She
scene
can.
in Little Women when she's alone
Oh,
with
yeah.
Saoirse Ronan character. Like, I think she acts the hell out of the scene, and Saoirse Ronan looks like a little actress there that she cannot outshine Meryl in that scene they
She
have together in
commands
the movie.
the screen.
And she's a good
Yeah,
actress. Saoirse Ronan's a good actress, and she can't even
Yeah,
Great
and she's
actress.
hold a
incredible
candle
actress.
to Meryl in that scene.
And she does not stand a chance when you see that scene where they're talking, sitting in whatever in the house, whatever. Like, and when I watch the scene, it's like, how does this woman do this? Like, how is she able to bring that to pretty much every fucking performance she does? Like, if I have a finger of the talent Meryl Streep has, I will be going crazy right now. That's my argument for Meryl Streep.
yeah, I just put on look it up, just find out who has the most wins for supporting actress. It must have been. It's a lot harder for someone to get multiple supporting actress wins because only two people have got two wins, and that's the most wins in supporting actress.
Wow. That's saying something over there. If that's statistically speaking, as if that's that low.
Sally Field has two Oscar for Best Actress, right?
For Best
Yeah,
Actress, yes.
for lead, she's lead actress.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who has. I mean, Octavia Spencer is one of them. I'm guessing. I know she for a fact
No,
was one of
Octavia
two
has
supporting actresses.
No,
For,
she
no,
has
for two.
one.
She's. Oh, you're right. You're right. Sorry, she's won one. Wait, she's only won one.
So the two people that have
Oh, she's
won.
nominated for two.
So the
Go
two
ahead.
people that have won Diane Reist and Shelley Winters, they're the only two that have won multiple supporting actress.
Well, that's the thing. That usually they transition to Best Actress. That's not abnormal, you know.
No, usually what happens. I know we talked about that last time about how that happens, but wrapping up the Best Actress, I still think this is going to be Viola Davis. Either way, regardless, something's going to be broken. Either Carey Mulligan has won nothing and she comes in winning Oscar night. Viola Davis wins SAG, and then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom does the best film. Was like for a film like says so many great above the line. Both actor and actress have had a picture nomination, which is unheard of. Or Frances McDormand comes in and sweeps out of nowhere and Nomadland and becomes like one of the highest awarded films since Gravity. Just a thought, as could be the case. But I think it's Viola Davis. Dan, who do you think?
Oh, yeah, this is Carey Mulligan. And she's won two things, the Critics' Choice and the Indie Spirit Awards. So she did win two of the precursors.
Sure.
I know they're not the two most prominent precursors, BAFTA, Golden Globe, or SAG, but she did win two of the precursors. And that, to me, means something. Because if you look at the films this year, a lot of the films are indie films. There aren't a lot of big budget studio pictures. Yeah, you got Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah that's in there, you know. But a lot of them are Netflix movies, Amazon movies, you know, A24 movies, like small indie movies. And so winning Critics' Choice and Indie Spirit means something to me. So I go with Carey Mulligan.
Okay. Malcolm?
I already spoken. I'm going Carey Mulligan.
No, we're just going making sure everyone has gotten their final say. And Abe, who's winning?
Carey Mulligan.
Okay, well, I'm the lone out person here. Watch it be Frances McDormand.
Carey Mulligan's one of the only actress in this category that was nominated for the MTV Movie Awards.
Then that's it, guys. I'm switching. I'm switching to Carey Mulligan now.
That
That was it,
translates. You
guys.
forget that sometimes those things translate because that's the kind of like the it crowd, the cool people crowd,
Well,
the MTV Music Awards crowd.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: MTV Movie Awards, the nominations for those have come out, and they've only actually just recently come out for this year. They've got like when they first started, it's like all the teen stuff, like Twilight's, the Harry Potter's, Hunger Games, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's actually transitioned a lot to because looking at the nominations, this year, um like best movie, for example, you've got Borat, subsequent movie film, Judas and the Black Messiah, Promising Young Woman, Soul, and to all the boys, always and forever, which is one of those random ones that they would normally have a whole bunch of in that category. So they've transitioned to getting a lot of the bigger other movies out there, into this as well, which I kind of quite like that it's not just it shows the change in that kind of landscape that a lot more people, because MTV Movie was their nominations are completely voted on by everyone in the world, so it shows the changing nature of film to when you see stuff like that are up for Oscars like Judas and Promising Young Woman get nominated over there as well.
That's actually a good point, and I can't wait to see exactly it evolve further until we have talking not about Oscars, but about the MTV Movie Awards and being like, yes, the prestigious film that is the MTV Movie Awards. One day that may happen. Who knows?
Probably won't be writing a recap about that though.
No need to. Not right now. And finally, Malcolm, we have two more. What are they?
Got Best Director, and nominated you got Thomas Vinterberg, David Fincher, Emerald Fennell, Lee Isaac Chung, and Chloe Zhao. I think this is pretty easily Chloe Zhao. She's been winning everything. She's kind of a big name at this point. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a done deal. This is like the biggest, even more so than Nomadland. I think the film. I think she is the most locked in, done deal. If you want to place an easy bet and make sure you have an easy bet, do that.
That's your $100 bet. That's your other $100 bet. Put it on Chloe Zhao.
It's your easy one.
I honestly think we can just say Nomadland 1, 2, and just leave right now because I don't think there's anything to argue about those two, honestly. Well, maybe one, but trying to believe it.
Nomadland, Chloe Zhao, and Dan. Is that your answer? That's your answer. Nomadland. You don't need to say anything else. Is there any spoiler? Does anything happen, or is just kind of like let's not overthink it. Let's just move on to picture.
This is a no-brainer for Best Director right here. I mean, you don't even need a brain to know this.
No.
Chloe Zhao.
You do not. All right, and finally, Malcolm.
For Best Picture, we've got Sound of Metal, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Promising Young Woman, Trial of the Chicago 7, The Father, Minari, Nomadland. I figured at this point it's going to be Nomadland. Once again, Nomadland's won everything. I don't see something proving sport at this point.
I'll tell you what. Can I just interject real quick, guys?
Please, yes.
This is a sliding scale, okay? So you have votes that are your top vote, your second vote, your third vote, your fourth vote, so on, so on, so on. So let's say Nomadland gets a bunch of first votes, right? But Trial of Chicago 7 gets a bunch of second, thirds, and fourth. And you keep adding all that up, and maybe there's some kind of a crazy scenario, which I don't think will happen, that Trial of the Chicago 7 bumps over Nomadland because of the stupid, crazy sliding scale thing that they got because of points and so forth. I don't see it happening, and I really don't think they're going to go for that this time around. I think everybody and their brother is going to be going number one, Nomadland, and that's going to be the overall winner. It's going to be the undeniable winner. But because of this stupid, crazy system they got, you could get a crazy winner, and it could be a film like a Chicago 7 who or a Minari could slip in there, which that would be wild. I mean, all our jaws would be down to the floor.
Absolutely.
If something like that happened. But I wanted to put that out there. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen these articles for a while now about Trial of the. Can you hear me right? I don't
Yes.
have my mic. Wait, please. Okay. About Trial of the Chicago 7 winning, upsetting Nomadan. And I get why, because maybe Trial of the Chicago is a 3 of 2 in many people's lists, because it's a fine picture. But I don't see it. Like, tell me, like, what else will have won in the night? If it's lucky, it's gonna win editing and maybe original screenplay. But other than that, like, we're predicting that you're giving it 2 Oscars before like that, which it's probably second to win more the most.
The thing is, if anything, Dan, I agree with you, but I also agree with you, Abe. It needs to win more than just editing on the night. If it did editing, screenplay, and picture, you would literally have Argo 2.0. That's literally what Argo also won. Or if it just won screenplay and it also won picture, you would have.
And just think about that.
Spotlight.
It has no director. It has no lead actor, no lead actress. It just has supporting, which Argo
Oh my
also
lord,
had.
that's literally Argo.
Has a movie won Best Picture without winning a single other Academy Award ever in the history of the Academy Awards?
Yes, once in the 1930s. Was it
Grand
the
Hotel.
A
right?
long time.
Well, I mean,
No, I also think about this. I'm sorry, Malcolm. Can I just say?
Go ahead.
Think about this. Like, Argo had a ton of money thrown at it. The campaign started since October, and it finished that night in February. Warner Brothers spent $40 million in that Oscar campaign. That means I have said a lot, and I think and I don't think Netflix has pushed that much into Trial of the Chicago 7, and that's why Argo had that campaign rolling. Paramount, there's a reason why Paramount dropped that movie in Netflix. There's a reason.
But they're regretting it now. No, I think they're regretting it. I think they would love to be paying money for the Oscar campaign right about now, Paramount.
Maybe.
Because now they know that they would have a movie in this discussion. Now that's Netflix. Forget about Paramount.
Let me talk with my people at Paramount and let me confirm.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Actually, I say, if you have people, why aren't you letting us know? Okay, so
sorry, Malcolm, for cutting you. I just want.
Yeah, no, Malcolm, you can go. I have a statistic when you're done.
I mean, I mean, it's one of those ones that what I was about to say is, like, just because it hasn't happened since, I think it's possible that we could get a scenario where a movie wins Best Picture without winning anything else. I mean, do I think it's this year? No, definitely not this year. But I think that it's one of those ones that you can't rule that out anymore. I mean, it's like one of those ones. It's getting to that point where you can almost just about says like if you follow the momentum, just because something's got momentum, like it's proven time and time again that sometimes if something's got momentum, it doesn't automatically guarantee it's going to win Oscar anymore.
So statistically speaking, I was going to add, it was not just the Grand Hotel. This has happened 3 times, all of them at the early stages of the Oscars. The Broadway Melody did it, Grand Hotel did it, and the Mutiny on the Bounty also did it. So the one with Clark Gable back in 1935. So these all were like late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, it has not happened since then, which is why if Trial is to win, it will literally, it is a Spotlight / Argo type of perspective. Did Argo win SAG? I'm gonna check that. Did Argo win SAG? Because literally, yeah, if it won ensemble, then this would literally be a translation of Argo.
It had a good ensemble, Argo did. It could have.
It is really good ensemble.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to say, Argo at least have Alan Arkin winning for Best Supporting Actor, right?
Shoot! I forgot about that. You're right. I forgot
that one.
I forgot about Alan Arkin.
At least.
I thought he won for Little Miss Sunshine, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, you're right. He didn't win.
Wait,
who won?
I thought he won. Who
won that?
No, he
year?
won,
Was
right?
Christopher Plummer.
I
No,
thought he
he didn't
went
win
for
for
Little Miss Sunshine, but I could be
He
wrong.
did
Yeah,
win for
yeah,
Middle.
no,
You're
you're
right.
right.
He won for Little Miss
You're right.
Sunshine. He did win.
I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong.
He was nominated, but
I
he
was
did not win.
yeah.
I
That
thought for
year
some
was
reason he did. You're right.
who who won that?
Who
Well,
did win? Anyway,
honestly, like, is it the same as Argo?
I don't know. While they're
we'll
figuring
figure that
it,
out later. Yeah, we'll
uh,
figure that out later.
just for fun, do you want to know who won the Golden Raspberry Awards?
Yes.
No.
Before we end, hit us, Malcolm.
So, for I'm going to start from the bottom. So, for worst screenplay, nominated was Hillbilly Elegy, Fantasy Island, Doolittle, all Barbie and Kendra movies, and 365 Days. What do you think won?
Hillbilly.
365
Hopefully
days.
Fantasy Island.
365 Days won.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys watched Fantasy Island?
No, I haven't seen any of
So,
that.
Have you watched
so
it then?
for so for worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel, nominated was Wonder Woman 1984, Hubie Halloween, Fantasy Island, 365 Days, and Doolittle. What do you think won?
365 days. Again, this go.
No, Doolittle won it this time.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I forgot about that movie.
For first screen combo, we had Adam Sandler and his grating simpleton voice for Hubie Halloween,
Oof.
Lauren Lapkus and David Spade, The Wrong Missy, Harrison Ford and their totally fake-looking Sergio dog, Call of the Wild, Robert
That
Downey
is a bad
Jr.
dog.
and his utterly unconvincing Welsh accent, Doolittle, Rudy Giuliani and his pants zipper for Borat subsequent movie.
Oh.
Film. What do you think won?
Rudy
Rudy
Giuliani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, worst supporting actress, Kristen Wiig for Wonder Woman 1984, Maggie Hugh for Fantasy Island, Lucy Hale for Fantasy Island, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, and Maddie Ziegler for music.
Please don't tell me Glenn Close. Please tell me it's the girl in music.
They probably gave it to poor Maddie Ziegler. I feel bad for that girl. Ugh.
It was Maddie Ziegler. For worst supporting actor, Bruce Willis for Breach, Hardcore, and Survive the Night, Arnold Schwarzenegger for Iron Mask, Shia LaBeouf from Tax Collector, Chevy Chase for the very excellent Mr. Dundee, Rudy Giuliani for Borat subsequent movie film.
Rudy, did he win it? Did he win it?
Did he win again?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He won again.
For worst
Wow.
actress, Anna Maria Sieglacher. I've probably met
Okay.
for 365 Days. Lauren Lapkus for The Wrong Missy. Katie Holmes for Brahms, The Boy 2, and The Secret Dare to Dream. Anne Hathaway from The Last Thing He Wanted and The Witches. Kate Hudson for music.
Kate Hudson,
Hudson.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
For worst actor, David Spade for The Wrong Missy. Adam Sandler for Hubie Halloween. Michelle Morone for 365 Days, Robert Downey Jr. for Doolittle, Mike Lindell, the pillow guy from Absolute Proof.
I'm going to go with Adam Sandler.
Downey Jr.
It is Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy from Absolute Proof.
What a character that man is.
Oh, man. That's
I have
crazy.
no idea what this Absolute Proof is, but now I want to find.
Yeah, I got to see that now.
I've never
I
heard of
didn't
it
even
until
know
right
he
now.
was in that. Yeah, that's weird.
For worst director, Ron Howard for Hillbilly Elegy, Stephen Gahan for Doolittle, Barbara Lois and Thomas Mantis for 365 Days, Charles Band for all three Barbie and Kendra movies, Sia and music.
Sia.
Is it Sia again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For worst picture, music, Fantasy Island, Doolittle, 365 Days, and Absolute Proof.
It's got to be music. It's got to be music.
I'm just gonna go music from here on out. Yeah.
Absolute Proof for worst picture.
Wow.
What is absolute proof?
I gotta see what the hell this is now.
It was.
I have no idea what it is.
It was some One American News Network thing.
Oh, yeah.
You're really stretching it, I guess.
But there was no Razzie Redeemer Award or anything, so.
That's sad. All right. Before we wrap up, guys, we're going to go one last time all around and tell us who is winning Best Picture. Dan, who's winning Best Picture?
Nomadland.
Who's winning Best Picture, Malcolm?
Nomadland.
And Abe, who's winning?
Nomadland.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, it is in fact, I agree, Nomadland, unless there's some weird outshine, as Dan had mentioned, Chicago 7 coming in with preferential ballot, but no, it's Nomadland. And with that, it is dinner time, ladies and gentlemen. At least for me, it's dinner time. So, because it's 6:20 where I'm at right now. So, but thank you all. This will be up on YouTube. I'm not going to do any editing. This is literally going to be out on YouTube for years to come for all to see. So, Dan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Dan Skip Allen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Or you can find me at where I write, disappointmentmedia.com, where I do some awards coverage, and my Independent Spirit Awards recap should be out very, very soon, probably tonight, more than likely. And I'll have an article about the Academy Awards probably Monday morning, more than likely, where I write all kinds of articles, mostly movie reviews, also my own blog, From the Fourth Row, at WordPress.com, where I'm not writing for DisappointmentMedia.com, I'm writing for From the Fourth Row at WordPress.com on my own blog. Also, I do 2 YouTube shows. One's called The Top 5 Weekly, and I just released today the top 5 Academy Award Best Picture winners with this guy over here, Mr. Manning Franks. We discuss our top 5 Best Academy Award, even though I might mention some that maybe I shouldn't have mentioned accidentally. But whatever, I don't edit anything, so it's all just whatever it is. And then my other show called Bleacher Features, where myself and a guest talk about a sports movie. That's a summer series that'll be out this summer in June, the first episode of this summer. So keep an eye out for that.
And Malcolm.
You can find me on Take 3 Productions, where I host Rankum and Late Night with Take 3. Late Night Take 3 is not going to be on tomorrow just because it's the Oscars. I was going to do an Oscar watch long, so to speak, but just couldn't. It was just so many things against me for that. But it would be back the week after. But you can find me in just over an hour and a half with Rankum Tonight, in which we rank the top 12 movie scores of the 2000s. And you can find me over on Full Metal, where I host Full Metal Classic on Sundays and Full Metal Random. And this week is a Scrubs match.
Ooh, and Abe.
You can send me money in Cash App at Dr. Flowers 25 so I can buy myself a Jordan 5 Retro Raging Bull, which I couldn't purchase because they were sold out like in a minute, like 2 weeks ago, and I'm still salty about it. Dude, they're selling like $100 more than what they worth. Whatever. I needed to put that out there.
Thank you
Just
for
send me
letting us know.
$100. I paid that $190. Just send me $100 more.
Go work for $100.
Whatever.
For $100. Just
Dude,
say like,
that
hey,
thing
I'll do this for $100.
Yeah, I think if I don't want to, whatever. Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Abraham45 for raging, for loving Mamma Mia. Here we go again, and Shrek 2. Also, I just want to give my top 5 best picture because you mentioned that. The Godfather, Silence of the Lambs, The Godfather Part 2. I have my list here. American Beauty and The Bridge on the River Kwai. And I won't argue that. Bye.
He will not argue that. Okay. All right. And you can find me, of course, here on Twitter at Cine_man. That's CINE_MANN right here, as well as here on YouTube at Manning Frakes, as well as right here on Take 3 hosting Gone with the Wind. Again, only 2 more episodes after this before we go on a hiatus as a heads up, but we might play around with the idea of doing a quick live thing for the last 2. Not sure. We'll see. But again, just want to throw that out there. Thank you all for your predictions, and I hope your predictions turn out to be true. Think of it like a Disney movie. Prediction is a wish your heart makes as I end the broadcast. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.